You have any goals set for this year?
Oh my God, making me sound bad. No. Listen,
Hey, it's
here's
not.
my thing. I find that when I give myself expectation to a certain degree, I just set myself up for failure. And the reason I do that is because if I don't hit every
Yeah.
tick, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I fulfilled 9 of the 10. If I didn't get that 10th thing, I'm mad at myself. And I'm like, I can't believe I didn't do that. So instead, I just decided I'm just gonna go with it. I want to do like more like road trips. I really like driving. So I think I'm gonna do that and make money. I don't have any expectations this year just because like honestly, like the last few
You
years
never
have just
know.
been such a
Yeah.
hit. Yeah, it's just been such a hit. I wanted to do so much these last few years. And then obviously like as we get older, I'm kind of like, fuck, I feel like the last 3 years have been kind of a waste
Yeah.
in a sense. And I know that they haven't because they're all adding
Yeah.
up to other things. But for me, I'm just like, I'm not at a place that I want to be. You know what I mean? Like we were talking, like we see so many people who are like married with kids, and not necessarily that's not what I want right now. I don't want to be
Yeah.
married with kids, but it's just it feels like I'm much more behind than I
Yeah.
should be.
Trust
And
me.
I get it. Like
Yeah.
we're all, yeah, like we're all on our own paths, and I totally know that too. But it does hit me sometimes. So I just said like this year, all I want to do is just be kind to myself, and like
Yeah.
whatever ends up happening this year happens. I don't really necessarily have any like definite goals that I want, but I do want to try and whatever idea I come up with, at least pursue to some capacity. So maybe I don't do it like full
Yeah.
force, but like if I come up with like a clothing idea, hey, let's see if people like it. Let's make a couple, see if they buy. Don't like it, it is what it is. If I want to do a video, make a couple videos. People like it, they do. If they don't, they don't. Like just kind of go with the flow this year. So it's not really
Yeah.
a
No,
good answer
100%.
for you, sorry, but
No, it was
it's
exactly what
true.
I was looking for. And the reason why I asked, in all seriousness, is the reason why I asked these questions is because I'm curious as to your approach. Like if you have the same attitude as a lot of people, like for me, I'm different. I always found like myself maybe being weird, where it's like, how do you not have goals, especially like your line of profession? Like you should know like what you want to do by the end of the year, like get
Right.
this amount of subscribers or like make a short or make a feature. And I do, yeah,
Right.
have these goals. Like, okay, like I have things that I visualize and I plan ahead. But to have like goals, like, you know, you hear people writing down like a list of things they want to accomplish. Like that makes me all nervous because life's not about that. As proven with
Right.
not only just the pandemic, just, I don't know, maybe it's just my life. Things happen, sometimes for the better and sometimes for the worse. And I know that I would kick myself saying, oh, I didn't accomplish this. It's written down. Like that means it should have happened. It's like, no, it's like you have like you always put the big goal, like for me, right? Like the dream is the goal, right? And you
Right.
do all the things you can in the year. And as long as you wake up every day with that attitude, with that intention, you can't fall short. So for yourself, it's the same concept, right? Like even though you don't know exactly what your dream is, you're doing things that service you becoming a better individual. And I think that's
Right.
what to take away from it, right? So you and I
Yeah.
see,
Things that are more so fulfilling. Yeah.
yeah, we see eye to eye. We're the same way, for sure.
Yeah.
Because you know, there's people telling me like, yeah, I gotta get like 10,000 subscribers by this. I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't work like that. It's like I make my
Yeah.
content, as long as I'm improving my content, right? Like there's certain goals. For example, like I wanted my thumbnails to be different, or I wanted, you know, that intro.
Right.
Did you see that podcast intro?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So that podcast intro. So I made that because I always wanted to have like an intro, right? Like
Right.
something to commemorate the year that I had with all the guests. And got some great reception. I'm really happy about that. But that was something that was like a mini goal of mine. You know what I mean? It's not something like I
Right.
wrote down and like I made it happen. It's like, no, it's like, it's just something in my head. Like it has to be done. You know what I mean?
But I feel like it's easier for you to have these little goals because you already have like kind of like the framework and now you're
Right.
able to build off that. Whereas like I'm kind of putting myself always back to like square one. So
Mm,
it's like I have these things that I do. So like just the two of us, like we had that stuff and I could have had like goals within that to like kind of progress it. And like, you know, we were making TikToks, we were making other things, like we were kind of like expanding it out into different things.
yeah.
But that's not happening anymore. So now I'm kind of back at square one with the next venture. And then I do a little bit with it and then I kind of bring myself back. So it's not necessarily that I don't have like goals and I'm not goal driven, but I'm like extremely ambitious. I know what I want as my end goal in life. Like I know like what I want my like lifestyle to be necessary, like so to speak, I guess. Like it's just like I know what my life is gonna look like. I just don't know how I'm gonna get there and how I'm gonna get it. So that's kind of what's hard for me. So it's like see for you, like where you could say like, oh, I want to be, maybe I want to ask like better questions during like no shade, but like
Yeah.
I'm saying
No.
like
Yeah. Sure.
maybe that's something that you want like during like your
Yeah.
podcast or you how you have your intro, things like that. I don't really have a framework right now. So it's hard
Yeah.
for me to have these like little things to like be excited about or like get better at. So that's why
Hmm.
if I say like I just want to be kinder to myself because that's something to be better at because I'm really hard on myself.